Okay, let's see. Counter-Strike 2. Come on, glaze it up, bro. Glaze it up, glaze it up.
Counter-Strike is an inexplicably undefeatable boss fight for any studio wishing to end.
Wait, this may be sarcastic. Counter-Strike 2 is destroying the competition. This may be sarcastic as hell.
The first-person shooter genre. It is of course unfortunate to all of its competitors, however, that the literal only thing to have ever killed CSGO or even come close to matching its prosperity is CSGO 2. And oh boy did Valve create the same game. Now I'm not quite sure why anyone expected CSGO 2 to be a new game, but apparently they did.
Oh, it's a normie video, no? Oh my god.
I'm however here to tell you that this is nothing more than a fancy new coat of paint alongside less content, but vastly superior content thanks to an absolute ton of physics upgrades related to the porting of CSGO to Source 2. That's right, it's not called CSGO 2 because it's the second game, it has that title because it's a port to a newer, better engine called Source 2. Yep. Remember ladies and gentlemen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. CSGO has remained at the top of the FPS genre for just over an entire decade with practically no updates to the core gameplay experience. The only time its throne was ever even close to being threatened was not by Valorant's release, but by PUBG's launch.
What the f***?
Yeah, I don't really understand that either. I mean, seriously, how on earth was PUBG so unfathomably popular at launch? Whilst nearly every other franchise in the FPS space has...
I miss the PUBG era, bro. I'm not even kidding. It was a fun game back in the day. It really, really, really was. The fucking Battle Royale era. I even played for a long time Realm Royale when it came out. Oh, shizzle.
Consistently changed
like a comic PUBG.
Sequel to sequel, Counter-Strike has simply existed. And while this may frustrate some iPad kids sitting at home watching TikToks, a movie and playing Fortnite at the same time because Instagram Reels turn their brains into mush, for the overwhelming majority of Europeans, this has meant nothing but pure unfiltered glory for 11 years straight. Whilst the Halo community eats itself from the inside about how much better the nostalgia company's Halo games were, or how much better Halo 5 is, in an excruciatingly similar way to how the Star Wars fandom constantly obsessively bickers about how much better the originals, or the prequels, or the sequels were. CSGO fans haven't even had the opportunity to fill my Twitter timeline with such childish and annoying things, even though you can see quite a few slightly confused...
This is him playing. It's the same PFP, look. This is him, and then here, YouTube profile picture. This guy is terrible. Sorry, I just had to say, bro. I still take his opinions for valid and stuff. Like, you know, like he can have opinion. But oh my god, he's terrible at the game.
Individuals such as my good friend the Ant-Man complain about the removal of CSGO. In reality, all Valve has to do to quote-unquote fix the problem of CSGO being locked to a demo branch inside of Counter-Strike 2 is offer a classics graphics option, because they're practically the exact same game.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
Not to mention it does come along with some amazing updates. But do you know what I love more than all of the updates featured in Counter-Strike 2? Today's sponsor, Dungeon Hunter 6. Skins are prettier, meaning you'll continue to chase the inspired by their own office companion. What's not to love? And what are these amazing updates featured in CSGO 2? Well,
bro,
your skin.
I remember, hey, I'm Zeus. Hey, Zeus took a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor, and I was like, bro, I mean, sure, like, okay. And I was like, why? Like, is it like, you need, like, because of the money was so good? Or he said he plays Raid Shadow Legends in his free time. Bro, Jesus actually plays Raid Shadow Legends. And I remember he was doing like the ad segment on his stream, right, where he was playing it. And he was like, he like explained everything. Like he knew it by heart. Like, yeah, guys, now we gotta go here. Bro, that was the craziest baffle to me, bro. Hey, I'm Zeus, playing Raid Shadow Legends.
Skins are prettier, meaning you'll continue to chase that ever-escaping, unachievable high from getting your first Dragon Lore.
Boom!
Oh!
Yeah!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
10%.
after spending tens of thousands of dollars on in-game items that aren't tangible. And thank God, Valve did not speed up the gameplay with the Source 2 port, even though the entire industry is constantly trying to appeal to kids with undiagnosed ADHD who need Subway Surfer gameplay to be played in theaters next to Oppenheimer to actually be able to pay attention. Maybe this is a placebo thing, but I'm almost certain CS2 plays far slower than Global Offensive ever did, and I mean much slower. In fact, I'm 99% sure it is due to the changes to smoke grenades. No longer are they pretty much just goofy little PNG images. No, they're now...
That's capped, no? Yeah, maybe when you play deathmatch, there's only clips for deathmatch. But it's quicker, no? You can't save as much anymore, you know? Your MR12... I think it's quicker. You can blow the smokes, you don't have to wait for the smokes.
Fully volumetric. For the uninformed, this is not common in the industry at all, even though it should be. And even though it is the actual perfect way to evolve games going into the future. Hell, I don't think I've ever seen smoke physics as advanced as this anywhere. Instead of the smoke being a glorified PNG, it has actual physics now. It will fill whatever space it is in perfectly.
That's
you
how we
can
do
also
it.
shoot through it so that you can see the other side, and you can even use a grenade to blow away the smoke temporarily. In your other hand, you have a beautiful, updated version of the Molotov cocktail, with fire effects are magnificent enough to turn a pitbull named Cupcake from a toddler devouring beast to the most angelic pyromane one can meet in Team Fortress 2. The glass in the...
Is he a TF2 main? Has to be. All-rounder. Interesting.
inexplicably undefeatable
No!
boss fight for any studio remain one can meet in Team Fortress 2. The glass in the game got updated as well. Most people certainly won't care, but I think it's pretty cool how the glass now actively reacts to not only where it has been damaged and from what direction it receives damage from, but also how it was damaged. If you were to shoot the glass in the top right corner of a window, then it shatters from that point. And if you were to use a grenade, then the glass will react perfectly via being pushed outwards in the direction of the blast. I'm sure to the vast majority of you watching, this
I saw HLTV.
sounds like a nothing burger, but I can safely say this is not an attention to detail most developers put into their games, especially in the first-person shooter genre, even though they really should. Alongside all these more apparent alterations, Valve upgraded the blood splattering. It now takes into account all the...
I want to see the bad.
It is not all sunshine and rainbows, unfortunately, because some of the updates really aggravate me. You know that insanely satisfying...
Guys, I find this video interesting, you may say every video, because this is the normie take. This is the person who played CSGO at one point and now gives it another shot. Now tries out CS2 again. And this is the normie take. This is what the people from Valorant coming over and stuff, this is most likely their take. The video, I think, has a lot of likes, so like this is what everybody, like the general public thinks outside of the CS2 player bubble. I want to silver take. I mean, we all start somewhere. I want to see the bad. Let's see.
sound effect which played every time you dinged someone. Gone. Reduced to atoms. And it is replaced by the sound I imagine gets made.
You see? I never even thought about that. That is such a normie take, bro. Because my man's playing deathmatch at the bonus weapon.
When you hold up a mic to a bug being squished by the oddly terrifying toddler in kindergarten that you just know will end up as a serial killer. Now why they made this change, I have no idea, because it did
He's
not
just
need to
talking about deathmatch.
change, and the new sound effect is simply infinitely worse. At least to me, there is nothing satisfying about the new one compared to the original. Valve also completely overhauled the buy phase at the start of matches, and I low-key hate it. For some reason, it now uses...
Oh no, I have to show you a video talking about deathmatch and casual. Oh, shizzle. I had something on my... I was scrolling YouTube shorts, right? And then, do you know how YouTube puts you sometimes like something with no views at all, like 0 likes, or like it just got pushed out there, you know? They want to see, okay, is it going to be popular in the algorithm or no? Fuck, I think I put it into watch later. Wait, let me see. Bro, the comments had me fried. I'll find it, wait.
Is loadouts. I guess we had to sacrifice at least one mechanic to modern gaming. Maybe I'm just being dumb here, but even still, I do not like how much this limits the sandbox compared to Global Offensive's offering. It merely seems overly restrictive for no real reason. Instead of having 21 weapon slots like before, you now are limited to 15. That is no small change, and it is not one I personally mind.
Okay, I'll check after. Fuck, let me hear again.
Seems overly restrictive for no real reason. Instead of having 21 weapon slots like before, you now are limited to 15. That is no small change, and it is not one I personally mind all too much, but I also don't like it. The reason I ultimately don't—
Bro, it's a deathmatch main! What the hell? Bro, because you buy AK M4, you have now more options kinda, no? Because you can now M4 and A1S.
Mind it all too much is simply because, if we're being totally truthful, it's not like anyone didn't have a go-to loadout when playing before the change. I do still wish the option was there to swap between the two. I likewise do adore the fact that even though this is a fairly huge change for a game like Counter-Strike, where the developers have done nothing to alter the core experience outside of bug fixing for essentially a decade, it really does not affect the core moment-to-moment gameplay. If you die in CSGO 2, you are 9 out of 10 times the cause. Just like how in CSGO, if you died, it was usually your fault. This is not your average AAA experience where someone can whip out a black hole out of nowhere and decimate the entire enemy team out of pure luck. If you die, it is a lesson, not a remarkably irritating and stupid punishment created by a company trying to drip feed you a dopamine rush. Whereas a title like Overwatch 2 promised a new game and then pulled the rug on everything they stated made it a new game, Valve never marketed Counter-Strike 2 as anything more than an engine swap, and that's why—
Dude, how the fuck is he winning? How is he one of the best in the lobbies? He's so bad.
Only disappointing thing about the game is how we have less maps to enjoy for now. Over time, that will become untrue, however, and with the next operation potentially coming in January, the future has never been brighter for the Counter-Strike franchise. If you ignore the fact that it's now called CSGO 2, which means we'll never see another Counter-Strike game.
It's called CS2!
After all, Valve cannot count to 3. Just look at Team Fortress 2. I'm still stupidly praying for that game to get a Source 2 port, even
Dude, I actually enjoyed that because, God, I've never heard the most normie takes. But hey, I enjoyed that because it was insightful. Like, complaining that the ding sound if you get a kill in deathmatch, that it changed. I've never even heard that. And if you say that he's better than me, you're crazy, you're out of your mind. I appreciate the updated physics, but I wish they didn't call it 2. Because that means that's the end. Everyone knows Valve can count to 3. I mean, that's fine, no? My dream for TF2 to be ported to Source 2. Hast du etwas Zeit für mich? Singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons.
Auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont, denn so viel Leid war danach.
Singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons.
Das sowas von